Why do we love the iconic Pirates of the Caribbean franchise? Adventure? Romance? Humor? Of course, the charismatic Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please.
Why did the first part become classic? How do pirate sequels work? And what went wrong at the end of the story? After all, most fans, not for nothing, hate the fourth and fifth parts of the franchise. Today, on About Movies channel, we will plunge into the world of the pirate saga and analyze each part in detail. In the meantime, click on the subscription button and the bell to always watch our videos first. Raise anchor, set sail, click on the subscribe button, full speed ahead. Pirates of the Caribbean follows the classic formula of the adventure genre. Brave adventurers set off on a dangerous journey to uncharted lands in search of an artifact. At the heart of any adventure is a quest, but director Gore Verbinski flips the storyline. Instead of desire to steal the treasure, he tries to get it back. In adventure films, heroes must definitely explore a voluminous exotic world. The Baghdad thief Raoul Walsh became a classic of dumb adventures. The story is about a fabulous odyssey of a lover who was looking for a treasure. Another integral part of the genre is spectacular combat. For example, the exemplary sword duel in The Odyssey of Captain Blood by Michael Curtis. And here is the unexpected short duel of Indiana Jones with the Pursuer. Adventure cinema is the opposite of boredom. It evokes in the viewer childhood dreams of travel, often filled with magical events. For example, the main antagonist of The Mummy was the revived ancient Egyptian priest. The living dead are anti-heroes in Pirates of the Caribbean. Each pirate had a personality due to the work of hundreds of specialists who scanned actors in 3D and created easily distinguishable animated skeletons.
I feel nothing. Not the wind on my face, nor the spray of the sea, nor the warmth of a woman's flesh. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
The picture plays with emotions of the audience, but doesn't turn into a full-fledged horror, always interspersing creepy fragments with comedy.
What are you looking at? Back to work.
Pirates of the Caribbean, which was inspired by the theme ride at Disneyland, has become an attraction itself. By the way, it was this legendary franchise that became the very first movie to premiere at the notorious Disneyland park. At the same time, action scenes always carry a dramatic load. For example, the battle between Jack Sparrow and Will Turner is not only a choreographically flawless duel, but also the first meeting of heroes, which makes it clear that the young blacksmith hates pirates and is ready to sacrifice his life to protect the honor of his beloved girl.
Who makes all these?
I do. And I practice with them 3 hours a day.
You need to find yourself a girl, mate.
And the character of Johnny Depp is shown as the person who doesn't disdain dishonest tricks for the sake of victory, but at the same time is not capable of killing.
You cheated.
Pirate.
In terms of drama, Pirates of the Caribbean is an incredibly thoughtful movie. Writers Terry Rossio and Ted Elliott detailed the relationship between characters and their story arc. The main characters of the film are Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner. In one short scene, the authors were able to show that the young people had feelings for each other, but they couldn't be together due to different social conditions.
Will, how many times must I ask you to call me Elizabeth?
At least once more, Miss Swan. As always.
The governor's daughter had been secretly passionate about pirate culture since childhood. For her, it's a synonym for independence from the pressure of society. And a corset acts as a symbol of social convention. Although at the beginning of the film, the heroine of Keira Knightley acts as a classic girl in trouble, in the second half, she largely destroys all paths which are familiar with the adventure genre. In the finale, she chooses freedom, but not status. If Elizabeth resolved external conflicts with society, then Will struggled with internal ones. A young man despising pirates learns that his father was a sea robber. With annoyance, Will discovers the features of a pirate, but his friendship with Jack Sparrow helps him understand that they are not all cruel criminals. So, he accepts their nature.
You can accept that your father was a pirate and a good man, or you can't. The pirate is in your blood, boy, so you'll have to square with that someday.
The antagonist, contrary to the genre traditions, is not a one-dimensional villain, but a sympathetic, unfortunate character.
That's it?
Waste not.
His goal is to remove the curse in order to become human again, and the audience understands it.
I feel cold.
Even the minor characters change towards the end of the film. Elizabeth's father respects the choice of his daughter, and the enamored Commander Norrington admits that his bride has gone to another man, so he decides not to pursue the pirates. Only Jack Sparrow, the genius trickster who pushes the story forward, although he gets the coveted Black Pearl, remains the same as was at the beginning. The entire film is literally steeped in the chemistry between the three main characters. They complement each other organically. We would also like to add that the writers of this film gave the Golden Trio feathery surnames. Jack, of course, is a sparrow. Elizabeth's surname is translated as Swan, and the name of the character of Orlando Bloom, William Turner, by a strange coincidence belongs to the important English ornithologist who in the 16th century published the first ever printed book about birds. A complete story, refined genre formula, humor, and strong drama made pirates beloved heroes of the early 21st century. The Curse of the Black Pearl has become a celebration of escapism, an exceedingly dangerous and funny escape from reality into the world of the scorching sun, sea, and inexhaustible reserves of rum.
To freedom.
To the Black Pearl.
Pirates of the Caribbean came out in the decade of the franchise trilogy. Following the Wachowskis' The Matrix, Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings, and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, Gore Verbinski's films had no plans for a sequel. Disney Studios were gearing up for a box office flop. The film about pirates didn't interest the audience, and the choice of Johnny Depp for one of the main roles was not approved by producers, believing that he makes his characters too eccentric.
This is either madness or brilliance.
It's remarkable how often those two traits coincide.
When fees unexpectedly exceeded the budget 4 times, the company started work on 2 sequels simultaneously. The second and third parts of Pirates were built on the main rules of successful franchises. The main characters were preserved and received a new development. Elizabeth tried to sort out her feelings for Turner and Sparrow and built a pirate career. Will devoted himself to saving his father, and Jack Sparrow, who became a cult character, received even more screen time, like other charismatic minor characters which the audience loved after the first part.
Since when did you care?
Since we're not immortal no more, we got to take care of our immortal souls.
You know you can't read.
It's the Bible, you get credit for trying.
The authors introduced a new, memorable anti-hero. It was Davy Jones, who sold his soul for love. His past, in many ways, mirrored the love line between the main characters. With increased budgets, the adventure took on epic proportions. But the romance of Elizabeth and Will remained at the center. Therefore, the first 3 parts of the Pirates are a complete piece. References to the Curse of the Black Pearl achieve this effect. In the first picture, Captain Barbossa dreams of eating an apple, and in the finale of Dead Man's Chest, he fulfills his wish. The director repeats the aphorism of the quote from the first part.
Gentlemen, my lady, you will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. The day you shall always remember as the day that you almost... It would never have worked between us, darling.
It would never have worked out between us.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
Duplicates, mise en scene.
What? I may have deserved that.
And loops the trilogy with a pirate song, which was sung by little Elizabeth in the first scene, and her son Henry in the last one. Gore Verbinski earned the studio's trust, changed his tone, making his films darker, harder, and crazier.
Stab the heart. Don't stab the heart.
Come again?
The Dutchman must have a captain. Well, that's even more than less than unhelpful.
That is, he didn't just repeat a successful formula, but added something new. Will is doomed to spend his entire life on a cursed ship, and former Commander Norrington and Elizabeth's father die without a chance of resurrection.
Elizabeth, are you dead? I think I am.
However, already in these parts, dramatic seams are visible. The love triangle between Elizabeth, Jack, and Will came out of nowhere, only out of the need to somehow develop the heroine. In defense of the writers, we can say that many fans still like this strange chemistry between Elizabeth and Jack. By the way, an interesting fact, fans drew a parallel and compared Elizabeth to the spider Black Widow. Judge for yourself, after each of her kisses, the man dies. Jack was eaten by the Kraken in the second part, Norrington was killed by Bootstrap Bill, Sao Fang was pierced through with a ship splinter, and only Will was saved by the fact that he was cursed. Numerous new characters, the goddess Calypso, the pirate baron Sao Fang, and Lord Beckett stretched the timing so that the plot required additional explanations.
How'd this go, Screwy? Well, each wants the chest for himself, don't he? Mr. Norrington, I think, is trying to regain a bit of honour. Old Jack's looking to trade it, save his own skin. And Turner there, I think he's trying to settle some unresolved business twixt him and his twice-cursed pirate father.
The sequel and trequel lacked some carefree lightness and slenderness of Black Pearl, but action scenes were still impressive. True, they served not as part of the narrative, but as inserted spectacular scenes. Despite the shortcomings, the trilogy of Gore Verbinski is a complete work with a happy and sad ending. Elizabeth and Will get married, but they are separated from each other because of the curse. And Jack, as always, is left without a ship, but he has a card up his sleeve. The card is always with him. Do you want to learn more about the daring pirate of the seven seas? You do not have to swim half the world to do this, you just need to click on the pop-up card in the corner of the screen. In our biographical video about Johnny Depp, we will reveal to you the secrets and phenomenon of this man. How did he achieve such success, and why is he now having bad luck with film roles? Click on the card, and we sail on. In the fourth part, the place of Verbinski was taken by Rob Marshall, who had to continue the franchise without Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom. Jack Sparrow, the soul of the series, who was conceived as a minor character, became the protagonist of the two final films. But if at the beginnings of the 2000s the image of an eccentric noble rogue with the antics of a rock star and strange humor was original, then for 14 years the pirate who hasn't changed ceased to cause a feeling of novelty. Even Captain Barbossa managed to turn from villain to hero, but Jack remained the same. In the trilogy, he played the role of a jester, mentor, guide, and catalyst for events. The scriptwriters of these two parts failed to build a coherent story arc for him. Jack Sparrow ceased to be selfish and sacrificed his dream for the sake of his friend. But there was nowhere to develop him, only to invent a strange backstory.
That is without doubt the worst pirate I have ever seen.
Johnny Depp's character is too unusual for viewers to associate with him. He doesn't need any close relationship, so the fourth film's attempt to embed a romance into his story failed.
I am with child. Yours.
I don't recall that we ever had...
You were drunk!
I've actually never been that drunk.
The comedic component became noticeably weaker due to the lack of new witticisms. The actor had to tirely repeat the jokes from the previous parts.
You are Jack Sparrow.
There should be a captain in there somewhere.
Visually, rich adventurers no longer involved emotionally. They didn't work on drama, and it's impossible to worry about Jack Sparrow's life because he always finds a way to return from the world of the dead. Without essential ingredients of adventure movies such as love and constant sense of danger, the final pirates were doomed. In addition, the script was built on assumptions and used the plot moves of the first films. The grown-up son of a pirate wants to remove the curse from his father.
My name is Henry Turner, son of Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan.
Ugh. You're the evil spawn of them two.
But the hero is threatened by a dead captain on a ghost ship.
You will fight against them, They will fight against you, all on account of him wanting to kill him. Where is the sense? Exactly.
The fifth part of the franchise is a certain disappointment. Everyone had high hopes for it, and most of all, its directors. Joachim Roning and Espen Sandberg, who had more than one adventure film under their belt. Just remember their picture Bandidos, a wonderful western, but in Pirates, they didn't quite manage to embody this. The scenes are shot and assembled very clumsily. We are not introduced to new characters, but for the sake of justice, it is worth noting that the duo coped with the task. They managed to create an atmosphere of dangerous adventures. The film felt the spirit of the trilogy, the battles became more spectacular and stronger again, but finally everything was ruined by the unrectified script of Jeff Nathanson, which was simply full of plot holes and inconsistencies. The old writers left the project and finally cut ties with the studio, which destroyed their so beautiful in the beginning and so terrible in the end product. And how do you feel about the fourth and fifth parts of The Pirates? Do you like them, or do you also think they are pathetic copies of the first films? Write about it in the comments. I am very interested to know your opinion. Depp himself is already exhausted in this role. His Jack became the marinated captain of the leaky boat. He does not have that enthusiasm, zeal for adventure. He does it automatically and without excitement in his eyes. It's like he's playing another show for the audience, but he's tired of it. In early parts of the franchise, the decisions of protagonists to become pirates was a rebellious act. In the latter, it's practically a tradition of being a boring commitment. The final episodes weren't in the spirit of the original Pirates of the Caribbean, which fulfilled childhood dreams of reckless adventures in the company of reckless friends. Whatever sequels, the original film of Gore Verbinski has forever left the audience with memories of unlimited freedom, romantic danger, love, and a hot summer that you spent on the high seas with the world's best pirates. Well, the failure of the sequels is on the conscience of those who decided to cash in on the beloved franchise. Unfortunately, in recent years, Disney has increasingly become a parasite on our childhood memories, one by one releasing low-quality remakes and stuffing their wallets with our money. You deserve to know the truth. Click on the video that appeared on the screen and find out all the ins and outs of the studio and its black deeds that turned into a real monster. Click on the video and watch it. And that's all for today. It was About Movies with you. Like this video and see you soon.